What's going on, Thrive Nation? It's your boy, the Dr. Michael Jones in the house, and I'm here with my man, Cam Cooper. Cam, what's up, man? Tell everybody who you are.
Oh, man. Well, I'm Cam Cooper. I'm on weekday afternoons on iPower 92.1 and 104.1, hip-hop and R&B station here in Richmond. I'm also a self-proclaimed marketing master, as I like to put it, and a foodie, man, and a big-time foodie. So, I love to do things around town. I love doing things in the community, and, of course, I love doing things for music.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's how I started messing with you, man, is that whole Cam versus food.
Hey, man.
Before I even knew this dude, I'm not gonna lie. If you ever want to talk about branding and marketing and how do you get on the scene, man, before I ever met this dude, I knew about Cam versus food. How'd you come up with that? How that get a life of its own?
Well, really, it started as a hobby. I was in the kitchen and I just started taking pictures of me cooking my food and stuff, and then people started saying, hey, well, we want to see the finished product, and people started, liking it a lot. And I saw it growing some traction on social media. So I'm like, all right, well, this is my thing, so let's do it. This is before I knew what branding was, that being a foodie was an actual thing. It's just something that I had a personal passion for cooking. So next thing I know, I'm full-time on the radio station. I was like, yo, well, I do this cooking thing, with Cam vs. Food. I want to bring it to the radio. They was like, well, let's see if it works. Next thing you know, King's Dominion's buying, everybody's like, yo, this is a great idea. And then a couple years later, now Richmond is like, and it doesn't have anything to do with me, but it seems like I was on the early cusp of realizing that Richmond is a foodie capital. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our restaurants, we got over 500 restaurants in this actual city of Richmond. So with that being said, it just turned into a major thing because I was doing the right thing at the right time.
But tell me about this, man. Because people miss opportunities to really brand themselves. People miss opportunities to really take what they do to another level. Tell me about how you felt once you saw, on the Food Network, when they started doing, and you know where I'm going, man versus food and all this stuff. And you're like, well, dang. I was doing that same thing.
Well, I think that it's a thing of, I didn't know what I was doing with the business side of it yet. I was still treating it like a hobby. So a lot of the time, you have to, once you realize that something works for you, you have to really just get away from having fun with it and get down to the business side of it and learn the business that you're in and how it can work for you. I don't think that I did that fast enough, but at the same time, I did a lot of things culturally with food that I didn't see getting done on a local level, as far as food events that were more urban branded and stuff like that. So my advice to anybody, as soon as you think you got something, make sure you get the business side of it down, get your LLC together, get your actual business together. That way, when the people like Food Network come knocking at the door, you're already ready to go.
And see, here's a piece, Cam. I'm telling you this right now. The way the universe is set up, it's going to happen.
Yes.
If there's a void, the universe is going to fill that void. Yeah. So whether you fill it with your idea or someone else comes and fills it with theirs, it's man versus food, Cam versus food, someone versus food was going to happen.
Most definitely. And the thing about it is, don't ever think that you're the only one that had that billion-dollar idea.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that may be more talented than you, that may have way greater ideas than you, but the difference between you and them, just like what we were just talking about off camera, is the people that actually go out and get it done.
Right.
It's 1,000,001 Michael Jordans on the park ball court, but it takes that discipline and that actual, go get it to make sure that it gets done. And if you don't really put that in place first, then you'll be like, oh man, I had that idea, or oh, they taking my stuff, or oh, da-da-da. And no, it's all on you. The ball's in your court. It's a do-it-yourself world. Make it happen.
So Cam, what would you say to that dude out there in the streets that has that idea? Because I'm sorry, I know a lot of these cats out there hustling. I know a lot of these cats out there, whether they move in weight or whatever else, they've got some great ideas, but they just fell into that lifestyle. What would you say? What can we say to cats that are out there that have ideas and they got a little bit of cash out there to throw at it? What should they do? What can they do?
My first advice would be is the patience side of it, because the lifestyle that you're trying to get out of has taught you that money is made fast and in a different way. And I think that the process is the biggest part of it, because the thing about becoming an entrepreneur, it's a lot of work with little to no results in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with a brother that may have just go out and stand on the corner or make a phone call and make thousands of dollars and stuff like that, you know, it's really, I think the biggest thing is changing the thought process of how you expect the results to come. And from there, you're already a businessman.
Right.
You're already a business owner. You just don't own the right thing. So I would say learn whatever your passion is, what you feel you can do legally, and then start transitioning into it and respecting the process of your growth, because you're not going to see results like what you're used to seeing. So with that, you should be good.
Man, let's switch gears right now.
What's up?
Hip hop culture.
Oh, man.
You know, and one, that means so much to so many different people, right? And you're in the industry, you're doing it, you spend every single day. Tell me some of the positive aspects of hip hop culture.
I think the positive aspects of hip hop culture is, you know, I would say it started off in the black community and then expanded to everywhere, but it made us all one community because, you know, hip hop is the most dominant music format right now in the world. Across all formats, country, rock, whatever, hip hop is on top. So it brought the whole world closer, and it actually allows people to put their differences out the window for a minute in their love for the music and what the music does for the people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one thing that's really dope, is how it brings us together. Another thing is it's helped a lot of young brothers and sisters take themselves out of bad situations and create for their families, their friends, a better lifestyle. You know, and that's a big thing. You know, think about what people like Kanye were doing when they were on the road, and think about what he's doing now. Not the negative stuff, but the positive stuff. Think about all the people that Jay-Z is taking care of, and he was once that hustler that was in the street. He was a dope boy. So when you think about it, it's changed a lot of lives, and you know, for me, the lyrics in a lot of cases, like when I'm listening to Outkast and Quimini, they help me get through my roughest times. It's like my therapy without paying for it.
Man, you go back and listen to some folk like Tupac,
Come on, man.
and even Meek the other night on the BET Awards.
Yes, sir.
I was blown away at the imagery. I was blown away by his lyrical content, and he was actually saying something that was relevant to what folk are going through every single day right here, right now. Today.
True stories. And I like what hip hop is getting back to. It's getting back to a conscious state. It's getting back to accountability in our community and making sure that, because, you know, one thing, and Scarface put this in his book, in his autobiography, he was like, you know, before the internet or anything else, or before hip hop went totally national, we didn't know that it was people living the same lifestyle as us in New York City or in California or everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, when you break it all the way back down to that, you know, hip hop, like what Meek Mill is going through, it's a brother that's going through that. He's fighting the system. He doesn't know if he's going to make it.
He's locked up right now on some bogus charges because the judge was having a bad day or whatever else. He caught the wrong person at the wrong time on the wrong day. Now they doing 5 years.
Most definitely. And it's a lot of brothers like that in the system. And unfortunately, you know, we're just now getting around to the big conversation of prison reform across a national platform. You know what I'm saying?
Meek is helping that happen.
Most definitely. And so I'm glad that he's using something bad that happened to him as inspiration for everybody else. Look, I've been in your shoes. You too can beat this system, but never stop fighting.
Well, dude, let's flip the other side of this coin.
Okay.
What's negative in hip hop culture right now?
I think that the biggest thing about the people don't understand that most of these rappers are lying. They're lying.
Okay.
They are lying. It's fantasy.
Talk about that.
So, see, we forget that it's entertainment, right?
Right.
Now, it's a couple cats that's really out there in the streets living like these rappers are saying that they're living, and they probably got it from somebody close to them, because most of these guys are lying. But what happens is like, and I preach this for real. We live in a state of psychosis. Right. We have a problem differentiating from what's real and what's fake because of the internet and stuff like that. So with that being said, people think that these kids are really out here doing this stuff, and they're completely lying, and it's fantasy music. It's fantasy. It's entertainment. It's not real, but the problem comes in where people try to make it real and emulate these lifestyles, from the drug usage to the drug dealing to the violence against our sisters, all of that. They think that because so-and-so said it and he did it, and he never even did it. Or he's just now doing it, and that's why these boys is winding up dead, because they're getting involved with stuff that they really not supposed to be involved with.
And someone told them that's a hot topic. And again, we do this, you know, whether it's motivational speaking, preaching, you know, all right, what's the hot topic?
Right.
You know, we need to talk about pain. We need to talk about hope. We need to talk about, you know, all these different things. And so I can craft a message specifically for that. And so that's what I think a lot of these cats are doing.
Guns, dope, disrespecting our sisters, and money and how we getting it. And unfortunately, that's the way the world moves. And they, again, these rappers, like, if you just broke it down in a song, right? Let's talk about one song. Just listen to the whole lyrics of that song and the order that he said it in. Do you think he would have did all of that in one day? Or in 1 week?
Right.
Or in a month and still be free?
Right.
There's no way possible. Just, I think that we really omit logic in the way that we internalize these lyrics nowadays. And then to make it even worse, social media has become the legs of the hip hop culture and it's run off. So, now, like I was saying a little bit earlier, people are more so critics before they're fans.
Right.
They're not becoming a fan of you a lot of the time to celebrate your victories and celebrate the way you make them feel. They're trying to find a chink in your armor. They want to find a reason to prove that you aren't what everybody else is saying that you are. So with that being said, I think the hip-hop culture, unfortunately, is in one of the most negative places we've ever been.
Wow. How do we get out of it? How do they get out of it?
Man, that's tough because freedom of speech is freedom of speech.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And we can boycott the music. We could try to take it off the radio. They'll live on the internet. You see what I'm saying? Right now, I think we're dealing with a child that is grown out of our reach, and we no longer have control over this child.
Right.
And there's a lot of people involved with it that don't even care about the child, and they just want to get what they can get.
Dollars.
They get
They want
but
those
they don't.
spins. They want
But
those
they don't
downloads.
man. I cringe, and this is just my personal. I cringe a lot when I hear what I hear on radio in a lot of places, and I think about a little girl listening to this.
Right.
Or what is this making a young boy think? Because I know this is fake, but they don't. You see what I'm saying? So hip-hop's in a very interesting place, man. I hope we make it out of it, but, it's going to take a new style of leader.
So does that mean we are just and should be anti-new school of rappers, these young rappers, they call them mumble rappers, or should we just be straight up old school?
Well, I think that the law of power says preach the need for change. Preach the need for reform, never change too much at once.
Okay.
See, and that's what happens, I think, where we just have to find the proper approach, because what happens is when you come down on a young kid, they shut down.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When you come in them and say, this ain't right, this is wrong, it's just going to take the right person that can craft the message properly to help them to understand that there's no future in this.
Right.
And and here's something better, because what I do understand is you can't preach about problems with no solution.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we can have our candid conversations about what we feel and all of that. But at the end of the day, we can't truly sit here and point the finger at these kids, because it's, it's three more pointing back at us, because we're supposed to be the solution. We're the elders, we're the mentors, we're the big bros, we're the fathers, we're the uncles, we're all of that. But at the same time, our little brothers and sisters are running around rampant, and it is what it is. So we have to find a very interesting way to craft the message and get it there. Do I think that everything needs to change? No. I think it's necessary for these people to grow, because a lot of these kids are going to grow out of it, grow up. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the reality. It's kind of like jazz, right? My dad listened to jazz forever, right?
Right.
And you hear everyone talking about, we listen to Marvin Gaye, we listen to all of these things. But dude, man, I can't stop listening to hip hop. I ain't gonna lie. People can say what they want, man. I still like Lil Pump. I hate to admit it. I'm sorry. Let's get it.
I do like that one.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I like it. And there's a lot of rap that I like. There's a lot of hip hop that I like, and there's a lot of a lot of these entertainers. I'm not gonna lie, man, dude. When Migos came in, Face J, man, and some folk with the convention center, they allowed for a group of students from Huguenot High School to, for a lot of them, dude, it was their first concert.
I think I remember that show.
And so they were here at the Landmark, right? They were here at the Landmark.
Yep.
And so Face J, we got like 10, 15 tickets. Yep. We got in, I
took a picture with you that night.
Yeah. And so we ended up backstage.
Yep.
And so, dude, these kids, after listening to the Migos, they actually got to see them live. And I guess what hurt me, growing up looking at Zapp and LL Cool J and Run DMC and being at all these concerts coming up, man, to think that there are kids out here that have never seen these cats in person was so cool. And the Migos, they were so chill about it, man.
Yeah, they cool.
Dude, I mean, they took time and took pictures with these cats. Dude, my son was even there, right? And so he was telling me who was who, and this Offset, this Takeoff, this Quavo. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know these cats. But, the message that they gave to my son that night, because he had on this crazy pinky ring, right?
Right.
And my son was like, dude, when I get older, I'm going to get me one of those. And he was like, why wait? And dude, I'm telling you, that blew me away that this dude would take that much time to speak some inspiration into a 15-year-old kid to say, man, dude, you ain't got to wait to go after your dreams. And that helped me so much. So I appreciate these guys. And so for me, Cam, I don't want to stop listening to hip hop. Dude, one of the reasons why I know you and Lonnie and all that, because dude, I rock Power 92. Dude, that's what I listen to. I'm with the hard drive at 5. And so, I mean, what do you say to, to folk that don't want to stop listening to it?
I would say don't stop listening to it. I mean, now don't get it twisted. You know, we got our negative and we got our positive. You know what I'm saying? I think that at this point, the positive still outweighs the negative. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's definitely a thing. But if you're struggling and you think you shouldn't be listening to hip hop, you probably shouldn't listen. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to put that if it doesn't agree with your spirit, don't put it in your spirit.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. Especially if we talk about spirit stuff. I mean, people talk about inspiration or gospel, and I trip people out with this. I'm not gonna lie, dude, I will listen to hip hop to get me inspired, not to get pumped, not by the beats all jacked up, because I believe that's just like a sugar high. If you're using the beats to get you up, they go, man, dude, I listen to their lyrics. I'm like, dude, all right, come on. Hey, we can go get paid. You know what? We can do this thing. You know what? We are great. We do have greatness in us. And man, dude, I'm telling you, I'm going to speak somewhere. I don't care whether it's at church or whether I'm going to a school or somewhere, and I'm pumping that stuff. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I know, people can say what they want about Drake, but man, dude, some of Drake's stuff.
Hey, no, Drake is cold-blooded. Drake is cold. I mean, he took that little L from Pusha T just recently.
That's VA though. That's VA. He was messing with VA.
Yeah. He took it too far talking about homeboy girl. But for real though, man, I mean, Drake, he changed the way that, I mean, for real, when you think back to 2009, 2010,
when he
Drake, Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, Currency, a lot of them cats, like they really handcrafted the whole internet takeover of music. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's probably
man, dude, like a sprained ankle ain't nothing to play with. I mean, dude, that there's some of that stuff that just flat out speaks to me.
Let me ask you this. Well, when you were younger, when you was high school, what was you listening to?
Dude, that was the beginning of rap music, man.
Right.
That was the beginning of that stuff. So, dude, it was the LLs.
Okay.
It was, the Kumo D's. It was the Will Smiths. It was, who was a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at that time. And so, it evolved into listening, dude, to like Tupac and Digital Underground. Yeah. And believe it or not, dude, I have boys that were in NWA videos. Dude, I mean, dude, I played with cats who was Crips, man. Dude, dude, I'm a West Coast kid, right? Oh, yeah. I'm a West Coast kid.
I was born in the Bay. Yeah.
And so, dude, all my boys that came from LA, dude, they was in some of the NWA Express Yourself videos back in the day. And so those were the guys that I gravitated towards and that I listened to.
So hearing how hip hop has changed from the way you were enjoying it then to now, what would you say the main change would be from what you've observed?
Man, beef has always been there.
Right.
I don't care whether it was, Kumo D and LL Cool J. The beef has always been there. You saw the negativity between, Death Row Records and everything that was going on out east. The biggest thing was, man, dude, was just lyrical content, man.
Right.
People can say what they want. NWA as negative as it was and as gangster rap as it was, man, them dudes was spitting the truth. You go back and listen to some of that stuff now, man, F the Police, dude, that stuff is so relevant today, and ain't no one really talking about it. But I'm not gonna lie, Meek went in on that.
Right.
So Meek's dialogue, his monologue, was in line with what Ice Cube and those cats was saying back then.
Right.
But, without all the cussing and without all the other stuff that went along with it.
Right.
But the reality is this, man, there was a level of consciousness that I grew up with. And so I grew up listening to Public Enemy. Right. And so it was like, wow, okay, fight the power. Okay, man, dude, Elvis ain't never been a hero to me. Right. And so I grew up listening to that stuff.
Right.
And that informed me. And then I'm not gonna lie, we still have fun with Notorious B.I.G. and all throughout all that stuff. But man, dude, I was a part of the Juice generation.
Okay.
When Tupac jumped on the scene, and so that was the stuff that I listened to.
But man, even Tupac was revolutionary.
Dude, he was before his time.
Yeah.
So much before his time.
I compared them to our J. Cole's, our Meek's, now Meek, Who else up? Kendrick. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I love Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick's the truth.
Dude, I love Kendrick. You talking about miss me with that?
Yeah, oh,
Dude, I'm talking, dude. And again, it's a mindset. We need to have this understanding that, you know what, all this BS, you can miss me with it because I'm trying to do something. I got somewhere to go. You know what? You really not with what you think you with. And so it's like, look, let's make this happen. But look, we got to get out of here.
We do. Oh,
dude. tell everyone how they can follow you. Tell them how they can get down with you, and just brand yourself even more.
Oh, man. All right, follow me at Real Cam Cooper on all social media. One brand thing, make sure that your name is like the same across platforms. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. And it'd be great if you use your real name. Follow me at Real Cam Cooper. And then on top of that, man, check me out weekday afternoons, 3 to 7 p.m. on our Power 92.1 and 104.1. I'm going to give you that other stuff, but I'm also going to make sure that we got some clarity and some logic in the show as well.
Man, we are just all about Thrive Nation. My man Cam Cooper, y'all can hit him up and get in with him and let him know that you feel what he's doing, and let this man inspire you. Everything that he's doing, everything that he has going on, I'm telling you this right now. If there's no one out there that you can help, you're missing the picture. Someone can help you. There's someone out there that you can help right now. And so I'm glad to be with him. I'm glad that he's going to help me out. I want him to blow up and do as much as he can to help as many people as he can. Look, make sure, be a part of Thrive Nation. Make sure you follow us at the Dr. Mike Jones.